Hi, this is Marloomz Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to make this graduation doll on your Rainbow Loom. For today, you're going to need your hook, your loom set up in the staggered configuration, and you're going to need red, or the color that you want your cap and gown to be, some white bands for the diploma and the inside of her collar, skin color, and the color that you want your doll's hair to be. Today I'm going to be using brown. And then 2 yellow bands for the tassel, and if you don't have beads for the eyes and to hold the tassel, that's okay. We'll just use a band and I'll show you what to do. And this doll is not going to have legs. If you prefer your doll to have legs, then feel free to add them. It did look funny when we added them. This is a one loom design, and when I added the legs, it actually mangled her legs, and I didn't like it, so I ended up taking them off. And I posted a picture of a 2 loom design that does have legs and it looks a little bit better, and I can always do that tutorial as well. So gather red bands. For your red bands, you're probably going to need about 156 red bands, and for the hair you are going to need, depending on the color, I'm going to be using brown, so about 48 of the color of the hair, and a few white and a few skin color. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the hair piece and the arms, and then we'll get started on the actual doll. And we're going to be making the gown first, and then the head is separate because it's so long it takes up the whole loom. So gather your hair color, and I'm going to be using brown. And what you're going to do is I'm just going to make one link with you. You're going to take a single band and you're going to go down however many times you want. But for her, for this look, I went down 11 times. So you're just going to go down 11, and I made 4 sets of these. So once I went down 11 times, I just capped it off. This is the 11, and then I just grabbed another single, and these are all single. This is a single chain, and then you just cap it off, wrapping a single around that peg 4 times, and then you just loop it, and that is one of your doll's hair. And you're going to make 3 more because you want 2 on each side. So you can pause the video and make 3 more links. And once you've finished making the links, you can just place the hair to the side. And I already pre-made mine, so I'm just going to place it on here. So once you've done that, the next thing is we're just going to make the pieces of her hat. Gather your red bands, or the color that your cap and gown are going to be, and you're just going to put 2 bands there, and then another 2 on 2 separate pegs, not connected, and then another 2, and you're capping them off. Grab a single and wrap it around 4 times. Again, a single, and wrapping that around 4 times, and same thing here. And that's going to be the pieces of her hat. And now we're going to make her arm. So gather your skin color, and what we're going to do for the arm is we're going to grab 3 red bands at a time, because I chose 3 so that it looks thicker. Otherwise, you know, I want it to look like the actual sleeve of the gown and not a skinny arm. So take 3 bands and place it, and I just stretched a little bit so it looks more it looks thicker. Take 3 at a time, and you're going to go down 4 times. So another 3, and these are connected. And then another 3 red bands, and you don't have to use 3, you can use 2. And then another 3. And then at the end is the skin color, and just 2 bands. and then you're going to cap that. And that's one arm. And we can do that again. That's 3. And then another 3. And then your skin color. And then you're going to wrap this around 4 times. Once you've done that, you can take your hook, reach in where the cap band is, grab the bottom colors, the skin, and bring it forward. And the same on this one. And just loop them forward. The same on this one, reach in where the cap band is and loop forward. And then loop these pieces as well. This is the pieces to her cap. And then you can remove these pieces and place them on the side. Just adjust it because sometimes they look funny off of loom. And I'm just going to place these little pieces to the side because we don't need them right now. And her arm and the other arm. And now we can get started on the doll. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin by grabbing the skin color bands again. And you're going to place 2 skin color bands on these 2 pegs, and the middle row should be above the other 2. And then you're going to grab your white bands. You should have some white bands for her collar and her diploma. And you're going to place 2 white bands to the left and to the right, and another 2 in the middle. And then we are going to now just be using our red bands. You're going to take 2 red bands, and we're using double for the rest of the way, and you're going to go down 9 times using double. So 2, 5, 7, and the 9th one. And you're going to do the same on this side. Go down 9 times. And in the middle as well. You're going to stop at that peg. So that's what yours should look like. You should have 2 pegs available on the end of the loom if you're using the Rainbow Loom. And it should look like that. And then you're going to grab 2 more, and on this middle peg you're going to place it on the diagonal to the left and to the right, and the same here, 2 bands on the diagonal to the left and to the right. And that's what yours should look like so far. And now we're going to add the extension. So you're going to push these down, and we're going to grab 2 bands at a time, and we're going to place 9 going down this row. Again, we're overlapping, so place 2 bands over this row, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Not the middle, do not do anything to the middle, just place 9 going down. It's not a difficult design, it's just a lot of red bands and time consuming. But other than that, it's really not difficult. So we have that there. And now we're going to do it on this side. Okay, so you should have placed 9 overlapping the other row, and yours should look like that, where there's 2 bands over each other, like that, on both sides. And once you have done that, we're going to now place triangle bands. So grab a single band, and on this, not this peg right here, but this peg, you're going to place a triangle band like that. And you're going to do that all the way to the top. Continue to place triangle bands on these 3 and these 3, these, and you're stopping here. You're not putting anything on the one with the white. So there's nothing on these 3, and there's nothing on the bottom 3. Once you have done that, you're going to then take a single band, and on this peg right here, you're going to wrap a band around only 3 times. Like that. And then again, a single, wrap it around this peg, only 3. And then we're going to loop. You can push down these bands, the triangle bands, that way it's easier when it's time to loop, because what we're going to do is we're going to remove this layer and bring it to the outside of our loom. Okay, so take your hook, enter this band right here, the cap band that we just wrapped around 3 times, and you're going to be grabbing only the top rows. Do not grab the bottom. So we're going to reach in, grab the top 2 red bands that we overlapped, and you're going to loop that forward. And now here's that triangle band. Make sure that every time you enter a peg, you push that triangle band back, and then grab the top layer of double bands, loop forward. And we're just going to repeat that onto this peg. Again, bring the triangle band back, grab the top layer of double bands, loop forward, pushing the triangle band back, grabbing the top 2 red bands, and looping forward. So we did that row, and now we're going to do this row, and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to reach in where the cap band is, and grab just the top 2 bands and loop that forward. Again, take that triangle band, pushing it back, grab the top 2 red bands, loop that forward. And if I went too fast for you, you can pause the video and wait till you catch up. So once you have looped this entire row and this entire row, what you're going to do is put your thumb on this band right here, on this peg, just so that this doesn't pop off. And you're going to remove this top layer, the ones that are looped, not the under ones. Where is it? Not the bottom layer, just this top one. You're going to take it off, and you're going to pop it off and place it on the outside, along with the cap band. With the triangle band. So the triangle band goes over that peg. And same here. You can pop them off one by one if you want. Just when you do this one, hold that because it can pop off. Pop it off, and then this one. And this one. And you want to make sure the triangle band looks exactly like a triangle. If you popped it off and it looks like that, it's incorrect. You want to make sure that, like right here, this band, there should be a band on the bottom that looks like a straight line, and this one should look like a triangle. Now let's do this row. Again, we're popping off, hold here because you don't want that one to pop off, and just take that one off. Take this one off. And this one, and this band goes above the peg that came off. Okay, so we have completed. You're not taking off this, you're not taking off the ones on here, and you're not removing the ones on here, but everything else is on the outside of your loom. Make sure they all look like triangle bands. The triangle bands look like the shape of a triangle, and then you should be done. Now the next step is we're going to just add our arms, and then we can loop. So grab the arms. You should have 3 loops, and 3 loops is 6 altogether. And you're going to place it on here and push down. And then the same thing, grab the other arm. Place it on the other peg. And now we can loop the graduation doll. So you're going to reach in, and this serves as kind of cap band when we use the extension. So there's a second row. There's 3 rows of bands. There's the top 2, the middle 2, and then the bottom 2. We're going to push back the top 2 and grab the middle one, and the middle row goes to the middle peg right here. The same thing here. There's these, then the middle, and then the bottom. You're going to reach in, push these back, grab the middle row, and bring that to this middle peg. Then you're going to re-enter these again and grab the remaining 2 bands and loop it forward. And the same here, reach in, grab the 2 bands and loop that forward. And then you're going to reach in here, push everything back, make sure you're pushing everything back except for just 2 bands on the bottom, and loop forward. Now you're going to reach in here, and there's this band right here, make sure you're pushing that back, grab these 2, loop forward, and grab these and loop forward, and again there's that band, push that back, grab the 2 bands, loop forward. And we're just going to be looping now, and it's pretty easy. The only thing to remember is to always make sure that you're pushing this triangle band back as you loop. So push back, grab the bottom two, loop forward. Sounds like a guitar, right? So we did all these. Make sure that you have a teardrop shape. And then again, just pushing back that triangle band and looping forward. So now these three, push back, grab the bottom two, loop forward. This is the middle, and then this one. And if I'm going too fast, I apologize. You can just pause the video. So I looped to both of the arms, and then the middle, the two white bands go up. And now we're reaching in where the arms are, and you're going to push back all these bands and just grab the two white bands and loop to the middle, and the same here, the two white bands and loop to the middle. And once you have done that, you're going to reach in, push everything back, and grab the two skin bands, and this is going to serve as your doll's neck afterwards. And you have a choice to either get a spare hook and leave the neck on there, or you can S-clip it, which I don't have right now with me, so I'm just going to start removing her slowly from the bottom, and then I will just put that to the side, because usually it doesn't pop off. So you can start removing her, and I don't like to rip my creations off, because I feel like it stretches the bands more than it should. So I just go peg by peg. And I almost lost her neck. To this part, take your hook and grab those skin bands. You don't want to lose it like I almost did. And if you have an S-clip with you, then you can S-clip these two for now. Let's fix her arms. Her arms are not correct. So you're going to take her arm, and this is how she looks right off of the loom. And there's this one band, right, these two bands right here. Her arm should go in between the gap in the middle. So grab those two bands and put her arm in there. And the same on this side. Here's her arm, and there is that gap in the middle. Her arm should be in between there. So you just pull it. And then that is your, and you can adjust the arms to make them face down. And that is what she looks like so far. And now let's do her hat and her face and her hair. So you should have made her hair already. I have mine already on the loom. And what you're going to do is now grab your red bands, and you're going to place two here, two here, one, two, and these are all double bands. These are all two, unless I tell you otherwise. And another two. And then two on the diagonal on the left and the right. And now this is where you choose obviously the hair color. If you already chose brown, you're just going to grab more brown bands. And you're going to grab 2. And if you're making a boy, I forgot to tell you, if you're making a boy, all you have to do is leave out the links. For the boy, you just need to leave 2 here and 2 here, and then it's a boy. Adding the hair just obviously makes it a girl. So we're going to do 2 brown bands there, and 2 here. And then we're going to switch to our skin color. And you're going to place 2 here and 2 here. And then go on the diagonal to the middle peg. And the same here. And then fill in the middle row as well with the skin bands. And then place a cap band on, this is a triangle band, this is a single band on these 3. And then, before I forget, on these 3 right here. The second one on each row, right there. So now we're going to add her hair. So I'm going to take this off slowly so I don't lose it. And you can grab her links. And 2 links go on both sides. So 1 and 2. And if she's a girl, if she's going to be a male graduating, then you don't add the links. And then 2 on this peg right here. I'm sorry, actually here. And then we're going to be adding the pieces of her hat, her cap, and those are the 3 pieces I made you make earlier. And one of them go here, and the other 2 on the other 2 pegs. And for her lasso, it's not a lasso because she's not a cowgirl, her tassel, you're going to grab 2 yellow bands, and if you do not have a bead, then you can just grab a black band, and this one's overly stretched, but I'll give you the idea. You grab a black band and wrap it around your hook 5 times, and then you're going to transfer the black bands onto those 2 bands like that. And that's going to be how you make the cap's tassel. But I'm going to be using a bead, and I'm going to take a piece of dental floss and use my small pony bead. I take the bead and I put it on the floss, and then I grab my 2 bands and place them on the dental floss like that. Then I take the tip of the floss and I re-enter it through that bead, and then I just pull. And then you take your hook, and where that little loop is, and you're going to place it right here. And then later on, once she's looped, then you can cut this, and it will look like the tassel. For her eyes, I'm also going to be using beads. I'm going to be using 2 pony beads, and the size of these are 4 millimeters by 7. And all you do is just slide 1 skin color band through those 2 beads. And they are by Creatology, and I found them both at AC Moore and Michael's, and I'm sure they're at other craft stores as well. And you're going to place it on these 2 pegs right here. And if you don't have beads, I'm going to show you how to make the eyes with bands. But once you've placed it on these 2 pegs, you take that middle band, the top, and place it above like that. So if you don't have a if you don't have beads, you're going to take 2 black bands. And right now I don't have the black band with me, but I will show you. I'll give you an example with a white band. So this is, pretend this is a black band. And you're going to wrap it around your hook 4 times. And then you're going to do that again, another 4 times. Another one. And you're going to transfer both of these onto a single skin color. So if these were black, they go onto a skin color. And then that would be your left and your right eye, and you would do the same, put it on these 2 pegs. And then the same step that I did here, where I lifted the middle, the band over here, and I put it above that peg. And that's how you would do your eye. So now she is complete. She has her eye and her tassel, and we have placed the triangle bands where they belong. Now let's just add her body. So you're going to take your hook and grab the 2 bands and the 2 bands here for her neck. Make sure you have 4. And you're going to place it on this peg right here, like that. And once that's on there, you're going to grab the first 2 bands and make sure you're grabbing just the top 2, and then mine are going forward, and then reach in and grab the next top 2 bands, and mine are going to the left, and then the other 2 are going to the right. And then you are going to reach in here, push these bands back and grab the skin color and go forward. Bring the middle forward, and the same here. Push this back and grab these and loop it forward. And now this is this eye band right here. You want to push that back, grab the 2 brown bands, loop forward. Again, here's that eye band, push it back, grab the 2 brown, loop it forward. And then push that band back, grab these 2 bands, loop it forward. Now on here we're not going to loop forward, we're going to loop on the diagonal because we have 2 sets of red bands. So we're going to enter, and we're not grabbing the bottom red bands, we're grabbing the first set. I'm going to enter and grab the first set of red bands and bring it to the middle peg right here. And the same here, you're going to push back the brown hair or the color of the hair you chose, and you're grabbing the first set of red bands. And you know you did it right because when you pull, they should belong to this pair. And then you're going to re-enter the same peg, and there should be a remaining set of bands. So you're going to grab those and you're going to loop that forward. And the same here, re-enter, grab these and loop forward. And then you're entering this one, pushing all the bands back, grabbing the bottom 2, and looping forward. Push the triangle band back, loop forward, loop the middle forward, and again push the triangle band back, loop this forward, and now we're just going to loop these to the middle. Reach in here, push everything back, grab the 2 red bands to the middle, and the same here, push the piece back, grab the 2 red bands to the middle. And now grab 2 red bands, 2 more, and then you're going to enter this peg, all these bands like that, and you're going to pull 2 bands through all of that. And what I do is I lift this up, this piece right here, because I don't want to do a slip knot over it, and I go underneath, and then I grab the other 2 bands that I was holding and pull it. And then from here you can make your little slip knot where you put this band over the other and you pull. And then you can remove her. And And then all that's needed is to adjust the tassel and to make her diploma. And the diploma is made by hand because if you make it on the loom, it looks a little funny. So here's your graduation doll. And I just adjust these pieces so that they look normal. And you can grab a pair of scissors and cut that, and then it'll look like the tassel. And then we're just going to, these bands that are in the front, just pull on this piece again, you'll see the opening, and then just take your hook and bring those two loops to the back. And then you can take your hook again, go through some bands, and just hide it. That way it's not sticking out. And now it's hidden in the back. So now let's make her diploma. So you're going to grab your white bands. You need one red band, and I'm not quite sure how many white, maybe like 5 or 6. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a single white band and wrap it around your hook 4 times. And then you're going to grab another single and you're going to wrap it around itself. You're going to double it over. And yes, this can be done on the loom, but when you do it on the loom, it does come twisted and not even. And so now we transferred that band that we had on our hook onto these 2 doubled over bands. Take your hook, grab the other loop. Again, single band wrapped around itself. Thread it through slowly and grab that other loop. And as they get twisted, fix them so that it's a straight diploma. Again, twist it over. Pull it through slowly. Twist over. And another. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can make the diploma as big or as small as you want. And I think we'll do one more. So we'll do 5 or 6. So I like that size, and then what you're going to do is you're going to grab another single band, not wrap it around itself, just pull it through and grab the other loop and just leave it like that. And then you're going to grab, you can put it on your finger, you're going to grab your doll's hand, whatever hand you want the diploma in, and you're going to go through the middle of her bands, grab that loop, the double loop, and pull it through until you have some of the diploma inside her hand. Then once you have that, then you can take these 2 loops, make a little slip knot. Don't pull tight, just make a little one like that, and then grab the loop and put the diploma through the back, through the loop. And then that will stay secure and she will be holding the diploma. If you want to wrap that single band around 2 more, like another time, you can. You don't want the diploma to start to bend. So I did it twice, and that's what it looks like. And then for the ribbon, I overly stretch a red band so that I can actually make a bow. And then I take the diploma and I just, from the back, I make a bow. And I know, I'm sure there are better ways, but I just take it and I make a little bow. Once you've tied it, it's pretty secure. And there is her diploma with her little ribbon. And for her hair, the same way I had hers, you can just take another brown band and take her hair to the side You don't have to, you can leave her hair down. And you can just put her hair in a little ponytail. And that is how you make your graduation doll. And don't forget, you take a scissor and you put the scissor through here and you just cut that piece, those two pieces, and that is how you make the little tassel. So that's how you make your graduation doll, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. And I will probably be adding this graduation Hello Kitty ring. You just make the head of the Hello Kitty and it became a ring. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.